Now we're talking about protests and counter-protests that are taking place in favor and against JNU students who ranted against India. Joining me now on the broadcast is Shaunak Mukherjee. Shaunak is from the Jadavpur University in Kolkata. They've taken to the streets. Also with me is Rashmi Das. She's a journalist. She's former ABVP leader, was General Secretary of the Jawaharlal Nehru University. But Shaunak, I want to come to you first. I want to understand what is your protest all about at Jadavpur University?
First of all, the rally that we took out in our campus on Tuesday, which was a torch rally, was against the saffron terror, the state terror that is being unleashed on the JNU campus. That we have seen the police enter the campus, we have seen them go into the rooms of the hostels, we have seen them arrest the JNU President Kanhaiya Kumar. We have later seen possibly BJP-minded and RSS-minded lawyers beating up Kanhaiya Kumar on live footage.
But Shaunak, what led to this? What led to police action was perhaps the rants that were heard at JNU and what were also heard at Jadavpur University. Manipur mange azadi, Kashmir mange azadi, Bharat ke tukde ho hazar. Is this what you study at university, Shaunak?
You see, the first thing here is these slogans that were perhaps raised in JNU, maybe I don't politically support them, but I still don't believe that just because a couple of slogans were raised in the JNU campus, the RSS or the central government has the right to come into the campus and wage the kind of terror it has.
Okay, respond to this, Rashmi.
And the fact
was
that it
okay. Stay with me for a moment. Rashmi wants to respond to you. Rashmi wants to respond to you. She's former General Secretary of the JNU Students' Union from the ABVP. Go on, Rashmi.
Jadavpur University is a den of Naxalites. Ask them, these are the forces who spread the Dantewada-like culture across all university campuses, bring it to our universities and ruin them. And we've seen this culture of hartals and non-time examinations not happening on time and all this nonsense across university campuses. This needs to stop. And one more thing, Gaurav, which you just said in the opening of the story, the Umar Khalid bit, that plan of to spiral it in 18 University. Now this shows, and I'm very convinced that the ground has been prepared for a long time. And when I was there in the university campuses, anyone who would speak about the nationalist cause, what were the abuses which were hurled at us? Burn, slay, throw out these people from the university campuses.
Burn, slay, throw out. Is this what you stand for, Shaunak Mukherjee? Is this what Jadavpur University students stand for?
You see, what I stand for, I stand for the democracy that is supposed to reign in our country. Second of all, every time somebody or the other manages to disrupt the thought processes of the BJP or the RSS, they are branded anti-nationals. I think they are fascists. And
what is so national, Shaunak? Shaunak, please try and explain. Please explain this to me, because I fail to understand, Shaunak. What is so national about celebrating the massacre of 76 CRPF personnel, Shaunak?
That is led by the government of India. But for me, the nation is not just the government, it is not the state. The nation, for me, is the people of India. And every time there is something done against the
So how do you celebrate?
India, I think that
how do students celebrate the massacre of 76 CRPF personnel? Is that what your nationalism is?
I'm sure the students don't celebrate the massacre of anybody at all. But I also think that since if we may consider this reactionary, I'm pretty sure we have the right to consider the actions of the BJP government reactionary as well.
It is the ultra-left who are the fascists. They are the ones who hold kangaroo courts, pronounce judgments without rule of law, and just go on a rampage, destroy property, burn trams, burn buses in Calcutta.
I want to stay. No political speeches, Rashmi. Stay on the issue. The issue is what is happening either at the JNU campus or what's happening at the Jadavpur University campus. Specific instances.
JNU campus, there has to be an AVP activist is a phase of going through the drudgery of racism on JNU campuses, and there's plenty of evidence. I that I can present to you. We had a professor in life sciences, late Professor Dhurendra. No one on the campus would talk to him. His children could not play with anyone on the campus. They had to go to R.K. Puram to play with other kids. If you were a student in social sciences, social science is a factory of sedition in JNU. They take money from the government and do research, to develop research methodologies which smash India's reputation into smithereens. So there's a whole pervasive culture of sedition on that university, which is now, up until this time, which was tolerated.
I want to understand
and now
what
they
is
have been called
happening.
to book. And that's why so much of protests.
What is happening at Jadavpur University, Shaunak? Explain to me, if ABVP activists want to enter the university, why are they being stopped from entering the university?
You see, I will tell you exactly why there was a protest this morning in our university campus. I don't know if our good friend from the ABVP knows that there is a BJP leader in our state of West Bengal called Rahul Sinha. Yesterday on public television, he has claimed that he believes that the students of Jadavpur, they deserve a public beating. He said, "Aage maar, tarpor vichar." First you will hit them and then you will decide whether or not that is the right thing to do. You see, they have actually threatened the entire student community of our campus, and if they decide to come over into our university and vandalize the university campus like a few people did yesterday, then I believe the students of our university have the democratic right to resist such aggression. And it is exactly
you talk
from this
about
point of view
democratic
that we
right.
resisted
What are you in the university
fascist
for?
that
Are you there
was
to
seen
study?
in the mobilization outside our university campus by the ABVP.
My friend, are you there to study, or are you there to indulge in this kind of politics where you have students clashing with each other, beating up each other, roughing up each other and shouting Manipur ki azadi tak ladte rahenge?
Clashing with each other. I believe, you see, first of all, ABVP, I have heard that it was a student organization, but all I saw was middle-aged people hurling abuses at us. You see, first of all, this is one thing, and next, whether or not I am, I am a student, I go to my class, I read what I have to, and that creates a sort of consciousness which I believe I must apply in my practice of daily life. And if that practice of daily life involves social issues, if that practice of daily life involves political issues, then I don't see any problem with it.
Okay. There is no problem with it, even if you are saying Kashmir ki azadi tak jang rahegi, respond to that, Rashmi.
I think that again is a very undemocratic attitude.
When they commit violence, they camouflage it by saying they are doing, grand protection of some democratic rights. These kind of sloganeering cannot be tolerated in India now, especially when you look at the geopolitical context and the nefarious designs which these jihadi networks and other networks have about spreading terror.
But what is the evidence? What is the evidence that there is a jihadi network, as you allege, whether at JNU?
What more evidence do you need? You saw that fellow, Umar Khalid. His father is a Simi, former head of Simi. And he is, look at the slogans which he is whipping up, ranting on religious lines, talking of Kashmiri Azadi. What is all this? If it is not a jihadi network and they want to spread it across university campuses, this has to be nipped in the bud right now. And this is
respond to that, Shaunak. Rashmi is saying that jihadi network is spreading across universities. Somebody like Umar Khalid.
I am against both sorts of fundamentalism, both Hindu fundamentalism, which I think is represented in our country best by the BJP, and Islamic fundamentalism.
What Hindu fundamentalism has he seen sitting in Kolkata? What? Tell him to come out with one example. What is all this rant about Hindu fundamentalism? Let him cite one example. What is he talking about? All these lies, they are bunch of expert liars. For the past so many decades, they have been lying and poisoning the minds of people in this country. And that is what they base their politics on. Spoil the universities, spoil the country's economy. They would not let an economic legislation move. And they come up with all these pro-poor kind of tamashabazi on the streets. This is what their politics is. They are the ones who bringing down India.
Thank you for calling me a tamashabazi. Thank you.
Okay, but respond on merits,
Shaunak. This is the sort of rhetoric that I expect from the Hindu right wing of our country.
I don't need a certificate from you as to whether I am a Hindu right wing or not. I am very proud of being a Hindu right wing person.
No, but respond to this. Both Rashmi and Shaunak. The point is, you go to university to study. Taxpayers spend good money to ensure you get good education. But we see this kind of gundagardi that is happening on the campus. Why are we hearing anti-India's rants from the Jadavpur University or the JNU? Explain this, Shaunak. Is this why Indians pay taxes for your education?
Studying would actually foster a greater understanding of democracy in our minds.
So,
And if
so
there is
what,
a greater understanding of
what is
democracy in
democracy?
our minds,
What is
I don't see
democracy?
what is the problem with people
By
having
chanting
opinions and
India की
participating in
आजादी
their
तक, India की बर्बादी तक जंग करेंगे?
What democracy is he talking about? When in 1991, when in the USSR, the coup happened against Gorbachev, Gennady Yanev plotted a coup against Gorbachev, who was holidaying in Crimea. All these communists sitting in universities, they raised a toast, including his predecessors. I'm sure you should check
No,
his
no,
own
but
history.
listen, I don't want to get into
So
that
this is
academic
the-
debate.
no, but what are they talking about democracy?
I want to stay on the current
I was
issue.
never a part of those protests. Never have I been.
Exactly, stay on.
never have I
This
claimed
is
that
an
I support
ideological battle
Gorbachev. I don't
for
know
which you
what
don't
you're
have this
talking about.
platform. This
I
is
don't
a
think I
television
have to
studio
bear
where
the
I
responsibility
very
of
clearly
Mikhail
want to
Gorbachev.
understand. No, I very clearly want to understand from you, Shaunak, what are you protesting about? What is Bharat ki barbadi tak jang chalegi? Explain that to me, Shaunak.
You see, I do not support a slogan which says Bharat ki barbadi or Pakistan Zindabad. I think that is a politically incorrect slogan. But even after having said that, I still believe that the kind of fascist aggression that the BJP and all its other affiliated organizations are showing across the country, be it in FTII, be it in HCU, be it in JNU, or be it in Jadavpur University this morning, I believe that is wrong. And every single student, every single citizen of our country who believes this is an attack on our democracy, this is an attack on our freedom, should and will, I believe, fight against it.
And Rashmi, explain that, and the number of people
That is
who've come out on the
exactly what my
streets of
movement is.
Delhi today, that is indicative of the fact that the government has handled this in a ham-handed manner, whether it's students from DU, JNU, Jamia, people have come out in large numbers saying, why have you arrested? Why has this government arrested Kanhaiya Kumar? Where is the evidence?
The evidence will be produced in the court. It will not be produced in the streets. And one thing, we have to decide whether this country will be run by rule of law or by rule of perception. Perception is ephemeral. It's like the morning mist. Are you going to be swayed by that? And this person is talking so much about democratic rights and tarring us by calling us fascist. How will he classify the events which happened in West Bengal in Malda? What was not fascist attacks? Has he spoken up for the freedom of those people in the Malda district? So these kind of things have to stop. They will not see the violence in Malda, but they will spread all kinds of lies about Kashmir, where a process is on to form a democratic government and give good governance to people over there. They are the ones who are again and again they are destroying, and they are doing it from the pulpits of universities on taxpayer money. That is what is most objectionable. We are not paying taxes to create a breed of traitors.
Okay, but that's a very strong term you're using, a breed of traitors. Shaunak, respond to that. What students at JNU or at Jadavpur University, those who say Bharat ki barbadi tak jang rahegi, those who say Kashmir ki azadi tak jang chalegi,
You see, I have
are
never
they
uttered such a
traitors?
slogan, and I do not support it.
If this had been said on the
If
university
anybody has
campus
ever
of
uttered
Berkeley
such
or New
slogans, then
York,
I believe
such
there
students
is footage
would have
which
been booked
shows
for
such
material
things.
support for
I believe
terrorists.
those slogans are wrong and they are politically incorrect.
But have you
what?
at the Jadavpur University
I believe I heard the
criticized
word
that?
terrorism.
Have you criticized the fringe that said Manipur ki azadi tak jang chalegi?
You see, when we called the rally on Tuesday, our convener very clearly stated that we do not consider the slogans which were say Pakistan Zindabad or whatever to be politically correct, but even after that, since even if we do not support those slogans, we still believe that the aggression by the state government and the RSS cadres in the university campus for two slogans, I do not believe the JNU students should be assaulted every day by 300 people outside the East Gate. I do not believe that every single student living in the hostels has the should have the police come into their rooms.
Okay,
That is a blatant misuse of power, and that is exactly what the BJP government is doing.
respond to
And I
that,
believe
Rashmi.
the people of
Blatant
India-
misuse of power,
This
and
is
what
exactly
happened?
the
What
mission.
happened in
Which is
court
actually the
yesterday was
mission.
unpardonable, Rashmi.
Actually
That might be well be,
and
it
not
was
the mission state that
unpardonable.
is led
But
by the
what he
government
is
of
saying right now is an utter
That
lie,
the
and that's why I
government
call
of
them the
India, led by the
expert
BJP
liars.
government,
There
is
is no,
undemocratic and it goes
every
against freedom.
student is not being searched on the campus. There's still meetings which your left groups are doing. There's still meetings and gatherings which other student groups are going. You just go and go around the campus and you'll see for yourself. You're talking as if the entire hostel, there's a policeman on every student. That's not the case.
No,
Those
but
who are-
Shaunak, also explain. Rashmi here says anybody who supports the ABVP or is a part of the ABVP is ostracized at
What about all
universities.
the RSS cadres who have been spotted outside the east gate of JNU, hurling stones and abuses, harassing students at every single opportunity? Do you think that is quite the democratic way of going about things?
Their only problem is they want everyone to say Lal Salam. Because we say Vande Mataram, that's why they come up with these kind of rubbish allegations and try and tar us. And they have got these kind of kindred political jargons, which are very convenient labels to define
Thank you for
and
calling
describe and
all that
condemn
you've said
people.
rubbish. I hope.
So this
I have a
is
feeling
a
you're going to
ploy
call
which
me
the
an
left has
anti-national
been
moment
using
now.
in India for decades together. And now people have seen through their bluff, seen through their false promises.
No.
In JNU,
Shaunak, shouldn't your focus be to study to get a good job, to be a good citizen of this country, instead of carrying out these agitations for Bharat ki
I
barbadi
believe by
or
protesting
chanting about
against
Bharat ki
a fascist
barbadi?
government, I am being a good citizen of this country.
By shouting Bharat ki barbadi
I
tak
think
jang
I answered your
chalegi?
question. I am being a good citizen by protesting, by actually allowing the spirit of democracy to reign in our country. It is
Okay,
being
clearly,
attacked by the state,
no,
by the
we will
state
continue.
itself,
We are
led by the
going
BJP.
to track this story very closely. But Shaunak and Rashmi, for the moment, many thanks.
Starting today, we are beginning our special coverage on the union budget. We are calling it Make or Break Budget 2016 because for the government and for the country, this is indeed a make or break budget. Our first